This is Mornings with Michael for informational and educational purposes only. Uh, I just want to share some financial news with you. World news: poor quality of air grips in Northeast as there were 137 wildfires in Quebec, 83 in British Columbia, 64 in Alberta, 31 in Ontario, and 21 in Northern Territories as of late Wednesday. The bull bear spread in the American Association of Institutional Investors was 20.2 versus negative 7.7 last week. Bulls rise to 44.5% from 29.1%. Wow. Neutrals fall to 31.2 from 34.1, and bears fall to 24.3 from 36.8. Japan GDP rose stronger than expected, 0.7% to be 1.9% year over year. On to our sector news breakdown in consumer. GameStop, GME announced Matt Furlong has been terminated as CEO, and the board has appointed billionaire Ryan Cohen as executive chairman effective immediately. Quarterly sales 12.48 below consensus of 1.36 billion. Hooker Furnishings HOFT liquidation of the Eccentrics home line and other obsolete inventories in the Home Meridian business has 80% complete at the end of May, CEO Jeremy Hoff says in company's first quarter earnings report. Oxford Industries OXM first quarter adjusted EPS 378 versus 374 estimate. Rent the Runway RENT first quarter adjusted EBITDA 4.5 million versus estimate 1.54 million. Holy cow, that's a beat if I've ever seen one. Torrid CURV first quarter EPS 11 cents versus 12 cents on revenues of 293.854 million versus estimate of 309 million. American Outdoor Brands AOUT files patent infringement complaint against Vista Outdoors VSTO. Energy, Industrial, and Materials Bluebird BLBD 4.5 share secondary priced at $20. Ford of FTV files for mixed shelf offering. Grief GEF second quarter EPS for $1.77 versus $1.32 estimate on revenues of 1.3 billion. Financials, Chinese commercial banks. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Helmer and Payne HP extends the buyback program to 7 million shares from 5 million. Financials, Chinese commercial banks began cutting their yuan deposit rates, cuts across overnight and term deposit rates. Overnight deposit rates fell on average by 5 basis points to 0.2% with larger cuts on the term deposits. Healthcare, GE Healthcare, GEHC, 25 million share secondary priced at $78. Merck, MRK, said the FDA has accepted for review a new supplemental biologics license application, seeking approval of Keytruda, Merck's anti-PD-1 therapy, in combination with standard of care chemotherapy for the treatment of patients with locally advanced unresectable or metastatic biliary tract cancer. On to technology, media, and telecom. Mobileye, MBLY, 38.5 share secondary price at $42. These things come out of nowhere and the stock drops, so beware. Apple, AAPL, airdrop, and similar file sharing programs that were used by protesters in China and Hong Kong in recent years face tighter controls under rules proposed by Beijing, according to the Wall Street Journal. Hashi Corporation, HCP, first quarter EPS loss 7 cents versus estimate of a loss of 14 cents. Semtech, SMTC, Semiconductor, first quarter adjusted EPS 2 cents versus estimate 8-cent loss. Smartsheet, SMAR, which has been trending for a number of days in a positive direction. Quarter one EPS 18 cents versus estimate of 8 cents. Verint, VRNT, first quarter EPS 53 cents versus estimate 47 cents. And finally, Acer, ACEYY, announced its consolidated revenues for May at 18.08 billion, up from 30.8% month on month, with business other than computers and displays contributing 29.9% of total revenues. And that's our news for today. Let me bring up share screen. Once again, I'm just going to reiterate this forever. Most people should be in something that doesn't go down when the market retreats. This is an example of an annuity. It walks the stairs up and never comes down. Just continues to walk the step. Many annuities offer 25 to 33% bonus. And with this, compared to the indices at 7.57% growth, the annuity average annual growth is 12.58%. So let us take a look. See if I can find our money map. There we go. I'm just going to bring it into our PowerPoint. Bring it a little so everybody can see this. Now I'm going to share our screen once again. So this is where the money is flowing today. Technology, like Microsoft, Oracle, Adobe, Apple, and consumer electronics. Consumer cyclical, Amazon, Tesla. Tesla is up 3.25% today. Google is down 0.34. Meta is up 0.69 in communication services. T-Mobile is up 2.29%. Healthcare is rebounding. Financial is down after being up yesterday. Utilities, some are slightly up. And basic materials. So let's go take a look at our charts. Shopify was down yesterday with a rout in all of the software and now is bouncing back today. Let's take a look at our software. In fact, index is bouncing back. It's trying to be above its 10-day moving average. Didn't look at the mining's metal yesterday. It has popped up considerably, is retracing today, bouncing down from its declining 50-day moving average. So we'll continue to watch that. Energy is sold off earlier, but it's trying to maintain near the 50-day moving average. Oil prices doing about the same. Financials are pretty stable, just off slightly. Housing construction was promising yesterday, even though it closed on its low, still up today. Biotech remaining stable and near its 200-day moving average. This biotech seems to be doing a lot better than the IBB. We'll see if it can break out in this area. It looks like we got a double bottom, positive. Look at semiconductors are recovering today, bouncing off of their 10-day moving average. Materials sector is right around its 50-day. We'll see if it can hold that area. Healthcare sector, as I said earlier, yeah, looks like it's bouncing back here, bouncing off its declining 10-day moving average. Consumer sector, which Apple is in, remains pretty strong. It's broken out of this long-term consolidation. Typically, the consumer sector being strong isn't good for the market because it's more of a defensive area, but it bears watching. Take a look at technology. It's hanging out right about that 10-day moving average. It's made a huge move here, so some consolidation is healthy. Take a look at our industrials. They continue to improve. Looks like we've got a breakout here. The volume has been pretty strong recently, so this is all positive. Let's move to dollar. Dollar continues to sell off. See if gold has moved up just ever so slightly. Silver is really popping today. If I could draw a good line. Yeah, it's definitely breaking out of this retreat and consolidation. Shows the line moving up against the S&P 500. We'll continue to watch that. Bitcoin, not really doing too much, like 10%. Ethereum, doing even less, down 0.25%. Take a look at see what the bonds are doing today. Yeah, they're selling off, so this is allowing the NASDAQ to recover. Both of them are selling off. 1 to 3 year bonds are up, so the yields are down. Take a look at the VIX. VIX continues its sell-off. Relative strength is just dying. S&P 500 is up 0.43%. Just remains in a very tight range here. We'll just have to continue to watch it. It doesn't want to break into the 430 area for some reason. NASDAQ is bouncing off of its 10-day. Danger here is just this huge gap between the 50-day and where it's trading right now. Market doesn't generally like to have this big of a gap between the 50-day, so we'll continue to watch that. IWM was a hot performer yesterday. Sold off a little bit today, but it still remains pretty strong. And the Dow Jones Industrial continues to move up ever slightly. It's been the least successful index so far. We looked at Coinbase yesterday. Coinbase sold off because they got a fine for being an illegal, unlicensed broker. So we'll just have to continue to watch that. I know Kathy Woods of ARK Funds bought a bunch of coin when it sold off. So we'll have to continue to watch that. Here's her funds listed. ARK-G, ARK FinTech. "2020 had a great year, but 2021 started its downfall. So we'll see if they can recover. Let's just go to let's see where the big money is flowing today. Pull up my handy chart. Trip.com bouncing. Their earnings came up 999% and 135, almost 136% earnings surprise. So let's see, what else do we have here? Adobe. This was near their office a few minutes ago. Adobe sold off big time yesterday on the software sell-off. It is bouncing back today. It's up nearly 4% on some pretty good volume. We'll see where it ends at the end of the day. My screen keeps wanting to close. And we've got super microcomputer. Huge volume again. A lot of people have been discussing whether this is a climax run. Time will tell. Had a little bit of consolidation and it wants to break out again. It is far exceeded our 50-day line, so it is quite a risky trade up here. Novak. Oh, this is down in volume. Let's see what else we got up on volume. The Rev Group gapping up a little over 10% on its earnings, up looks like 106%, 73% earnings surprise. Corebridge Financial, not doing too much. Skyward Specialty Insurance is up 3.31% on the biggest volume it's had in a long, long time. Carvana is up nearly 49%. I thought these guys were going out of business, but maybe not. Huge volume. Relative strength rating is jumping up, but this has been a troubled stock for a long time. Green apparently is not behaving. Is Bluebird up 7.14%, designs and manufacture propane-powered and compressed natural gas-powered school buses. In the news, we had Semtech. Earnings beat, jumped up, and it's now on the bottom. There's a negative earnings of 98%, but 108% earnings surprise. Got Yext. Gapped up yesterday on huge earnings. 250% earnings increase, 80% surprise, and it's just continuing today. Beyond Meat is up strong today, almost 25% on massive volume. And that's all of our up volume. And let's look at the down volume. Former darling, Core & Main, is down on its earnings, came in at 0%, 5.29% earnings surprise, but wasn't a big enough surprise, I guess. Tour Lifestyle Holdings down 2.97%, but it's been a big loser for a long time now. This is not the kind of action if you're a buy side. Sterling Check is off as well, 2.8%. Smartsheet, which had been trending regularly, could not come up with the earnings that satisfied everybody. Even though the earnings surprise was 153%, maybe it was on the earnings call, it is off 19%. HashiCorp earnings was negative 17, down 27%. Mobileye Global, which came out with secondary offering, is off, not too bad, 4.9%, 6%, 5%, but it has been trending down here. We'll just have to continue to watch that. GameStop, which fired their CEO, is off 18%. And Bread Financial finally gapping down, is down 8%. Well, that's our news for the day. Remember to go out there and keep going after your goals, working on your activities. It's been Mornings with Michael for informational educational purposes. We'll continue to watch the markets and see what changes are in store. And in the meantime, everybody have a great Thursday.